All right, let me just sit up here. I was rushing around. So, as you can tell from the title of my episode, um, I am branching out in the video. Well, you knew that because I'm doing the live stream, but I'm trying to do for guest authors on the podcast, try and do video interviews. And my friend Jody was kind enough to be my first guinea pig on that. And I use this software called or a website actually called Riverside.fm. Have you guys seen that? And it's sounds really cool, right? You both kind of log into the website. You've got the video and audio, and the Riverside FM will then record them individually, merge them together, give it to you separately. It's supposed to be really cool, right? I didn't really test it out beforehand. I just kind of like trusted that it would work, and I ran into a few issues with it. So here's my experience with Riverside FM. Wasn't a good one to start off with. I'm sorry, Riverside FM, if you're out there, but not my favorite. Oh, by the way, let me start over here. This is the Night Owl Writers Room with Rich Hosick. Thank you for joining us. Um, don't want to make this all about me. If any of you out there feel like you want to have a writers room experience, you want to come on, talk about your stories, work something out, let me know. Reach out to me on X, and we'll figure something out. But we're not going to do it through Riverside.fm. And the reason is, so I did it, I recorded it, and then when I pulled the file down, the merged video was out of sync. Jody's video was like coming in a second and a half earlier than it should have. Fortunately, I was able to separate and download the video and audio separately. However, my audio was like way low and his was too loud, and it was just a big mess. And so I went in, I cleaned it up, and even at the end of it, somehow the audio got overlaid on the Jodies, and I ended up using audio that was not substandard, and I had to use, but I had both videos up there. We were talking, and I went to export it in the software on Windows called Clipchamp, which is something that they kind of like are steering you to as like their default free video editor on Windows, and seemed to work okay. I was able to figure out how to do cool things, do text overlays, background images, take the video and move it into like a little little cropped window and all that kind of stuff. And it looked great in Clipchamp, but when I went to export it, my video that I got from Riverside XM was corrupted somehow. It was like coming in as black with little outlines and flashing lights and stuff like that. And I ended up just putting in a still image of me over my video so that you guys wouldn't see how horrible that was. So for my first episode, a lot of challenges, but I think the content is good. What I did here is I put it up on YouTube on my Rich Hosick channel on YouTube, which is where you'll find this as well. No, it's not. I'll take it back. It's a different channel from this. This is the Night Owl Writers Room channel. I've got a separate channel for Rich Hosick that has my podcast and now these video interviews. I also extracted the audio and put that into my podcast, so you'll be able to listen to Jody's story in the Garden of End Times, and then you'll be able to listen to the interview I did with him and find out more about his fantastic book series, The Luke and Time Mysteries, starting off with The Nine Lives of Marva DeLonghi, and highly recommend that you check it. If you buy his paperback book, you can get the audio book for free. He's got a QR code in there, which is really cool. So if you do that purchase, you can get the audiobook. I recommend this highly. Buy the paperback and get the audiobook, and then you've got the signed book. Buy it from his site. And then you've also got the audiobook. You can listen to it. Um, he's got a great narrator, very professional, and so check those two things out on the Bedtime Stories for Insomniacs Fiction podcast. And but let's talk about this video editing stuff here. So let me show you. Let's see if I can get this going here. Where's my clip champ here? Here we go. So let me pull this up here. See if I can show you what my problem was. Gonna share my desktop there. Entire screen. There we go. All right. All right. So here's what I see. I see this editing window here. It's got, typical tools and so forth. I've got the ability to, see all my different things here. And here's the video that I originally had, and I had to overlay it with this. Sorry. And I'll show you why in just a second. But let me show you what this is. So basically, I start off with a little clip from the story here. So a little introduction. I'll just play it for you. And now for something different on the Bedtime Stories for Insomniacs Fiction podcast, a segment I'm calling Between the Covers, where I interview my guest author this week, Jody J. Sperling, and you can get to know a little bit more about him and his story. In the Garden of End Times by Jody J. Sperling. Jesus finished the beetle picking early and went to a village in rural Kent for a beer. What she really looked forward to was the day of restoration. Now, what I love about Jody's story is in the first two sentences, you are just like pulled in one direction and then pushed in another. Jesus is, picking beetles, and then bam, she is going to get a beer. So I play the beginning of the story here, and then we get to this part here. I'm gonna just jump ahead. Regarding his timeline for the restoration. So you get here. You will know the time is near when the Cubs win the World Series 3 times. And that is the beginning of Jody J. Sperling's story, In the Garden of End Time. So that's as much of my video as comes out without being corrupted. Let me show you what I mean here. So I'm going to go ahead and can I delete this whole track? See, that's the thing. I don't know if I can delete a whole track here. This is kind of weird. I think I can. Can I move it down? Let me see if I can do this. So what that'll do, that'll put it behind the video. Garden of End Times. All right, so let me see if I can get this to show you what I'm seeing here. So now when I do the export, go to 1080p here, and you'll see like it gives you like a little preview here. And so it's going through the initial part here, the introduction, and the first part. Just wait just another 10-20 seconds here. You'll see what I'm talking about, I hope. So, gosh, I really know how to make a live stream boring, don't I? Let's show you. If you want to watch some paint dry too, I just did a project in my basement. All right, let's see what we got here. We're getting through there, and we're going to come up here. So basically, we're going to come up on this, and we should see the video. You won't hear the audio. You'll just see the video preview here, and you'll hopefully see what I'm talking about. If you don't, then what I'll do is I'll try and re-export it and see what happens. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it's bad. Is that a weird thing to say? All right. Come on, Clip Champ. Let's go. 2.9%. It's a 30-minute thing, so this is like a first minute, a minute and a half of. Okay, so we probably have to go to 4 or 5% to see the video. It was really strange. I mean, Jody's video came out fine. Mine was just corrupt. It just doesn't look right. You'll see. If you don't see, again, I'm gonna be I'll be mad actually if it actually works. Isn't that strange? Okay, come on. Watching it go. Paint is drying. Feel like I'm missing something here. 5%. We should be there by now. Should be there. Is it not giving me the preview here? And it says 45 minutes running, but it didn't take that long. That's a weird thing. Okay. I don't know what's going on here. This is not giving me what I expect, but we'll sit there and watch it for a little bit and see what happens. So I put out a call on X for suggestions on video editing software to use. Looking at Premiere. Premiere is $22, $23 a month. I mean, I pay more for hosting the podcast. I just hate adding up those little subscriptions. You know what I mean? I'd rather buy something for like $100 uh, than have to pay $20 a month for the rest of my life. And I'm only going to be using it maybe once a month for the interviews. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, we're not seeing it here, so I'm not seeing the crop video here. Oh, you know what? I bet I have. Oh, I don't. I don't. I overwrote it. Oh, there it is. Okay. So here's the video. Now watch what's going to happen here. See that right there? See that? You see that there? That's what happened. The video looks fine in the editor, but when I go to export it, I get this weird darkness thing here. So I couldn't use it, right? So I'm not sure if it's the raw video that I'm putting in or this Clipchamp software or what it is, but it just did not work well. And so anyway, so we've got that. The other thing I want to here's the thing too. So this is something that I've done in the past. I've had guest authors. I've done a few stories from Barbara Avon, if you guys are familiar with her, from her book Owl Eyes Motel, which I did the full audio version for. You can find that on Audible. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to get her for an interview. She doesn't like to do interviews, so but I'll see if I can because she's got a new graphic novel coming out soon. Maybe I can get her to come on to promote that. We'll see. Talk about her stories from the Owl Eyes Motel. Um, so that so I've got that, and then so here's the plan, right? So I'm gonna bring on a guest author at least probably once a month, and then that author will have their story read and produced by me on the podcast, when about 3,000 words or so. And then we'll do an interview, video interview. We'll put that on YouTube. We'll put that on the podcast as well. You'll get your name in the credits on IMDb. You get $30, and you will get a chance to be in an anthology later on for an additional fee. I think probably going to add another $20 to that if we put it in the anthology. And if for some reason the anthologies blow up, I'll sweeten the pot a little bit. I'm saying these things. Don't take any of this stuff as legally binding stuff because my friend Arnold, who is sort of my unofficial business manager, he will if he ever sees this, he's going to blow up. He said, Stop saying that! You can't do that." So I wanted to put out an open call for submissions. He said, "Don't do that." So if you have a story you're interested in submitting to my podcast, reach out to me on X, and we'll talk about it. Tell me what your story's about. I'm looking for stuff that's around 3,000 words, give or take. And if it's something I can use, I'll be happy to do it. And then I'll promote your other stuff, and you can come on and promote your stuff on the interview. And then we'll all make this nice little podcast experiment, hopefully enriching for all of us. So that's the goal here, right? This is the next step in the evolution of the Bedtime Stories for Insomniacs Fiction podcast. This coming year, I'm going to try and have a guest author every month, have a guest author interview on a segment I'm calling Between the Covers. And that's it. That's going to be fun, I think. So um, I'll probably be putting out a broader call on X for any submissions. And I'll be also probably checking the forums over at the other stories, see if the writers there have anything that they think might be suitable. Because the other stories, ooh, excuse me, has a cutoff of 2,000 words. But if you got something longer, 3 to 4,000 words, 4,000 is like the absolute upper limit. Other because then I started getting into half hour territory, more than half hour. Um, then we'll do it. But yeah, I enjoy doing his story. His story is a lot more literary than the stories I write. And we talk about that in the interview. And he also, it's I, I recorded it once, and then I did the interview. And after the interview, I realized, you know what? this story needs a different voice than what I gave it the first time. Because he told me the origin of it, going to church and stuff. I'm like, so the narrator needs to sound like he is standing behind the pulpit in a little white church in the middle of the rural community somewhere in Omaha, right? So that's what I strove for on this, and I think it turned out well. I hope he's happy with it. Um, God, this wave looks off. It doesn't matter. All right. So, oh no, it's okay. That's right. Um, so that's where we are with that. So I got it up on YouTube. I've got it up on the podcast. So if you are subscribed, and you should be subscribed to my podcast, and you should be subscribed to this channel too. I keep on failing to mention that everybody who does a live stream says, "Hey, hit the like and subscribe buttons. Please like and subscribe." Um, do the whole alerts thing and everything like that. So I'm gonna, yeah, just I gotta be honest with you. I'm hesitant to really promote this because I'm just figuring it out. And I don't know if I want a lot of people to watch me figuring it out. But on the other hand, why not? Why not? I'm willing to share my rough drafts of my stories with you. I'm willing to share the process that I'm breaking the stories. So why not share the process of learning how to do this too? So here I am learning how to do this. And again, I'd love it if anybody out there feels like you have anything to contribute, a topic you want to talk about, a story you want to talk about, a story you want to break or fix or do something with, get some input on. Let's make this a real writer's room, right? I'm calling it the Night Owl Writer's Room because I want it to be that sort of collaborative thing, not where we, help each other out. I'm not one of those authors that gets jealous of other people's success. Whenever I see somebody gets an agent or sells a book or a screenplay or something, hey, give them a nice like, good job, you know? I've never been that way because it's like it doesn't do you any good. It doesn't do you any good to sort of envy other people. Uh, it really is all about doing your best work, getting it in front of as many people as you can, and having a good time doing it. So I enjoy doing this. I enjoy going to the book sales, even though my last couple were kind of disappointing. So I have a huge inventory of books, and probably over the next few months too, I'll be setting up my website. I'm not selling books on my own website yet. And the reason for that is that I am not willing to do the pre-made stuff. I'm going to be making a custom shop, and I am going to be baking into it all the tools that are specific for writers. And eventually, sometime in the future, I may open it up to other authors. So I'm trying to build a platform, not just a website for me, but a platform for authors where you can put your books up there. You can create specials, funnels, whatever, all the special things that the marketing people do. And so I'm going to spend some time learning how to do all that stuff, refining my tools. Uh, Maybe I'll incorporate mailing lists as well. And I've already got slight integration with Square. Square is the payment provider I use at my shows. It's actually a pretty decent deal, right? You don't have to pay a monthly fee for Square. I think even if you have a shop online, I think it's built into the processing fees. You know what? I say that, but I don't know if I'm absolutely sure about that. Let me check that out real quick here. Um, if any of you guys know, go ahead and throw something in the chat if anyone is there. I see a couple people on Rumble. Okay, that's good. All right. Let me come here. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Presentation mode. There we go. Okay. So it's squareup.com, and then I'll sign in. You guys won't see my password, so I don't care. So I'm probably already signed in, aren't I? But we'll see. Dooty dooty doo. Yeah. So By the way, if you ever see, like, those ads on TikTok or YouTube and stuff for, "Hey, no processing fees for credit cards." Not really. What they do instead is they, add an additional charge for the card processing fee onto the invoice. So you send them their invoice, say you're selling a book for $20, you sell the book for $20, and then your customer gets a charge for $20.65 or whatever it is, because they add on a processing fee to the customer. So you're not paying the processing fee, your customer's paying the processing fee, which they're doing anyway. It's just a hidden tax. So that kinda sucks. So yeah, this is, how much money I made over the last couple of weeks, or credit card money I've collected, not that. But let's see here. Sales channels, online. Do I have this set up? Let me see here. Welcome back, Richard. Published. Hashtag Writer Square site. Let's see if I got anything up there. Okay, yeah, there you go. So apparently I do have a website here to sell stuff. Let me see if this actually, let's see if I buy this here. Add to cart for $20. Go to my cart. There we go. No shipping. I think that I can set up shipping and stuff for this, but there we go. So I do, you can have a website here. It's not as cool as the other things, but that's fine. All right, so I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna go ahead and delete that from my cart. And it's nice to know I have that, but I'm not gonna use it. The reason is that it's not designed for books. As you can see, when I have a book cover on there, it shows it like a square image of it, which is very frustrating. It's like, I want to see a book, and I want to be able to also see book series in a nice, orderly fashion. I want to be able to see which books have ebook, audiobook, paperback, hardcover options to them easily. I want to make a shop that is specifically for independent authors selling their books, or even published authors who have other books to sell and stuff like that. And the reason for that is, again, that there's nothing out there that really is specialized in that. Everything is so generalized. You really don't have a good book selling platform. There's a couple of people. I take it back. There are some out there that are trying to do a good job, but I think it can be better. I think they're missing the mark on some of the things. I don't think they're giving you enough features, book specific features that you need. So that is my goal. Ooh, excuse me. I'm already starting to yawn. I'm going to build that platform. I'm going to try and share it with other people and see if we can't get something going there with that. All right. So I told you last night I was going to try and do three things. I was trying to getting it the Jody Sperling story finished and up. I did that. Get the interview finished and up. I did that, and also record the narration for Dreams of Her, which I did not do. The video editing just threw me off track. I thought I was going to have a couple hours before I started tonight to record the audio, and I did not. So, still want to try and get that story out Tuesday. Um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. To be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna stay up late tonight and do it, because if I'm yawning this much right now, if I try to record while I'm doing that, also we've had some thunderstorms coming through here, and probably gonna call it a night. And after this, and maybe I'll try to record it during my lunch break for work, and then I'll start laying in the sound effects between the day job and the night job, and then after that, I'll have a couple hours before midnight. I might be able to get it done. I might be able to get that done tomorrow night and get that up for Tuesday. So my regular schedule for the podcast is, and I've struggled to make this, is on Tuesdays I do a new story. On Thursdays I do a new book segment, book part. However, I finished the last book, A Really Good Day. Part 24 was the last part of that. If you guys have not listened to A Really Good Day, it's written by my brother, James Housek. Uh, if you like golf, or even if you don't like golf, if you know somebody who likes golf, check it out. You don't have to know anything about golf to enjoy the story too. It's a story about golf, but he goes into detail as if he's writing it for someone who knows nothing about golf. So you'll learn a lot about golf. You'll learn a lot about just what it's like to struggle with keeping promises, what it's like to have a second chance, to find redemption, all sorts of wonderful, heartwarming, uplifting stuff. So if you need a feel good read or listen, check that out. I really, really think you'll like it. Um, but anyway, so that's ended. So what I'm going to be doing on Thursdays is hopefully um, remasters of old episodes. Ooh, good. Jeez. Last night I played for you the Time Comp Paradox, which is in badly need of a remaster. I spoke way too fast during that. So I'll probably do that one first. But there's a bunch of them that I did for the audiobook that are in the audiobook right now that need to be remastered. I remastered some of them, some of the earlier ones, but I need to go back. There's about still half a dozen or so that need a good remastering. And so I'll be doing that over the next probably month while I finish up the 10th ride. So the 10th ride is going to be the next audiobook that I serialize here, and it'll probably start coming out before it's even published because the way I work is I'll get close to my final draft. I mean, I'll have like, this is it. I've got everything done. Everything looks good. And as my final proofread, I record the audiobook. So I've talked about this before, but it bears repeating. Reading something out loud is the best way to proofread it. And then take the additional step of recording it. And then what you do is read it out loud. You'll catch a whole bunch of stuff that way. And then play it back as you're reading it, and you'll catch even more stuff. You may have to actually fix some things when you play it back because you'll realize, oh my gosh, I said the wrong word here. I didn't even realize it. So you read the wrong word, you said the wrong word, and it's only after you've heard the wrong word that you actually register it as an error and get it in there. This is why so many books have so many typos, because people just rely on reading. They rely on computers to help them. Sometimes it's not just an error. Sometimes it's about the cadence of the book. Sometimes it's about repeated words, phrases. Sometimes it's about dialogue not sounding authentic. And when you read it out loud, even if you can't do voices for your characters, just read it out loud. You're going to catch that stuff. You're going to find that stuff. After I finish my first draft, I will sit down. I will print it out on paper, and then I will read it out loud. Take a big red pen to it, and I make lots of notes. Um, that is my big paper draft, because at that point I'm like, okay, cross this section out. This doesn't work. I'll write stuff by hand. Ooh, excuse me. I'll write stuff by hand. That's basically the only time I'm writing stuff by hand is when I'm editing that first draft. But I'll print it out on the 8.5 by 11 3-hole paper, double spaced, so I've got plenty of room to make notes in it. And then I've got the opposite page where it's blank, where I can rewrite a page if I need to. So that's something that carries over from my TV days. In TV, we did that. Everything was double spaced, um, and you had lots of margin to work with too. And and my handwriting's pretty bad, but I worked for writers who had worse handwriting than me, and I was able to decipher it. So I make my way through it. Although it is frustrating sometimes. Why am I showing my desktop? It is frustrating sometimes when I write something and I know it's good, but I can't quite figure out what it is. I'm sure that happens to you guys, but Yeah, and the people who write their first draft longhand, wow. I admire that, but at the same time, I'm like, "Man, my hand would be so sore." But I guess if you do it a lot, you kinda build up those muscles and stuff like that, but I've got my typing muscles working, everything. I can type fairly fast, and with all of the autocorrect and spell checkers and grammar checkers that I'm using here, I get a pretty decent first draft these days, so, I'm pretty happy with that, especially in the short stories. The short stories, I can write a decent first draft. My short stories, unless I'm unhappy with the story, they don't change a lot from the first draft. Mostly what it is like I'll maybe put something in later on in the story that I need to go back and lay in to the beginning to help, create the continuity for it. But that's the biggest changes I make. Um, Again, short stories to me are akin to the episodic television I used to write, and we used to write fast. When we were doing the New Adams Family, man, we had to do an episode every 4 days. So you had to write fast. And so we would write a draft in a day, and then we go back, rewrite it, fix it. We didn't have, the chance to, like, work with a big room. It was just me and him, me and Arnold Rudnick, but it worked. It worked. And so when you're writing that fast, you sort of get into that rhythm, and you can do that. Of course, that was our job, so that helped too. There was no day job that was sucking up time and energy from you, but I'll get there again. I'll get there again, and hopefully, I'll be bringing a lot of you along with me. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is I talked about the audio video editing. Yes, well, yeah. What video editor I should use, what services I should use. So if anybody has any recommendations, please add it to the comments on the video or reach out to me on X for two things. One, recording live interviews. Now, Rumble Studio has that feature where you can bring in a guest and have them in there. I don't know what it does for uh, if you can download separate audio and video streams. I may not care, right? Because I can, let's see, get this duo mode, but it doesn't do anything if you don't have any duo in here. And I'm sure there's somewhere I can put a background here, and of course, then there's the OBS, uh, where you can take stuff and I think you can do interviews on that one as well. StreamYard is the other one I've heard about. That's a you got to pay for that one too. So there's give me some stories. What have you guys used? Have you been on an interview that used something other than Zoom? Zoom is like, it's Zoom. You're stuck with Zoom. The thing liked about the Riverside FM is I could bring in the video stream separately. I could rearrange it. I could put a nice background in there. Um, and you guys saw what it looked like. So it's like it looks really professional there. So I like having that flexibility. But man, I'm gonna struggle going back to Riverside FM after that experience. I don't know what happened there, why it went so wrong. Um, Maybe I'll try it again. Maybe I'll give it a try. I mean, it could just be the free version is purposefully sucky so that you'll pay. I don't know. But anybody has any suggestions, I'm open to them for both the recording and then the editing. Right? I need something that is not going to give me that issue you saw with the corrupted video there. And it may be Riverside FM's fault for giving me bad video, or it may be because I cropped it. I don't know. I don't know what went wrong with that. So it's a struggle to sort of see what works, what doesn't, and I don't have a lot of experience in the video editing world, right? When I was making student films, we were making student films. We were shooting on 16 millimeter and making actual films, cutting film, and we were in the editing room. We were cutting stuff, physically cutting it. Did a little bit of video, community cable stuff with Arnold, but he did most of the editing. He was the technical guy on that, which is a little ironic, but that's the way it worked out back then. He had the experience with that. And I I haven't done a lot of video editing stuff, to be honest with you. And before I started doing the podcast, I hadn't done any audio editing either. So that took me, a good year to really sort of figure out what's how to make it sound good, how to clean it up, how to edit it, how to put it all together, the best way to lay in the sound effects, the best way to lay in the music. All that stuff was just a lot of trial and error for a year. And so I know that I'm going to go through some growing pains on the video side too, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't know, maybe I'll pay for a month of the Adobe Premiere and see how that works. Um, and then just the month by month one, which is a little bit more expensive, but I'm not tied into a thing. Because like I said, I'm gonna be using it like once a month. So I would really like to find something that's like 50 to $100 I can buy that does the same sort of stuff that Clipchamp does. Clipchamp actually has uh, a pay feature here. I wonder how much that is. Let's check that out real quick while I'm here. So there's always a little button here to upgrade. Upgrade here. Let's see what it says. Okay, upgrade to Clipchamp Premium. Okay, there you go. This is only $7.99 a month. But what is it? So 4K export, brand kit, manage logos and brand colors, content backup, free premium stock media, premium filters. Let's see what the free plan has. I think the free plan has everything I need, right? Easy video editing, trim, position, enhance, and more. So that is really cool. I like that. Again, I don't know if it's the Clipchamp export or the Riverside FM video that was bad. Um, I'm gonna have to just experiment with that. I'll see if I can get someone to do some. Hey, if anybody out there is interested in trying this out, if you're thinking about doing something like this, you want to learn how to do it, you want to like have a lab partner for figuring this stuff out, let me know. Auto composition powered by Microsoft AI. I don't know that. I don't trust that AI. I'm sorry. I love AI. It's really cool, but creatively, I don't trust it. Free filters and effects. That's kind of true. Cool. I haven't tried the background removal more. That sounds kind of cool. Basic stock media. Don't need that. Text to speech. I don't need that. Auto captions. I don't need that. Speaker coach. Oh, interesting. Up to 1080p HD exports. Okay, that's all I need, right? That's good. Watermark-free exports, which is kinda nice. What does this say? Videos using this feature will be included in this plan will using features not included in this plan will be watermarked. Okay. Export resolution, audio, image, and video stock, filters and effects, and then the brand kit logos and colors and fonts, single brand, content backup. How free is free? Many as you like, you can use your own video files and audio files. The plan includes all basic editing tools. You can export up to 1080 for free. So maybe you know what? Maybe I will give this another try. I'll try the all right, I'll try Riverside FM one more time, see if I can get it to work. If anybody out there wants to play with me on that, contact me on X. We'll have a little chat on Riverside FM, and I will get the video and audio and see what happened to it. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's really kind of cool. You can the editing is not as I feel like I don't have a fine touch on that. But um it's just maybe my inexperience with it. It feels like there could be other tools to do that. Text to speech, record yourself. Yeah, you can record directly in there too, which looks interesting. I haven't tried that yet because there are some instances where I need to record videos. I've been using the Windows video recorder. I have to record a thing for the podcast awards just in case I win, so I got to get that set up. So maybe I'll try that in Clipchamp this time and see how that goes. But, all right, so, I don't know if there's anything actually in the premium upgrade that I would need. I don't need to do 4K exports. It's just on YouTube. Who cares, right? It's just two talking heads. Don't necessarily need a brand kit. I'm doing very simple videos, content backup. I've already got that with um, Google Drive. Stock media. I've got stock media. I got stock video on my Envato Elements account too, where I get my sound effects and music. So I've already got that covered too. So I don't need on any of that stuff. So I will. Oh, first month 7.99, then 11.99. Oh, that sucks. Uh, this one's first year is $80. So I don't think I need the premium. Although I wonder if that 4K export would have. Nah, probably not. Because I tried doing it at low resolution too, and it still had the same issue with that. For you, what do we got here? Create a video with AI. Usually create shorting. Simply upload your photos and videos. Choose a video style and let our AI work for you. I'm getting curious about this. This is me going down a rabbit hole. I do this all the time. What is the title of your video? Just for fun. Okay, click to add media or drag and drop. Your media review by AI to compose your video. All right. What does that mean? I don't know. Um, Let me come here to my interviews. And so let's see here. We have the Sperling raw audio, synced video. Can't really see the file names here. Server side rich hosting, raw audio rich, raw synced video, raw video, CFR. I don't know what that means. I'll try it. Drag that one in there. I'll drag this one in there. Let's see. Let's throw in some other stuff here. Let's throw in these excerpts here. They're in a different spot. I actually saved them in the wrong place here. Audio ads. Looking time. So let's see here. We've got the opening, got the sexist, we've got the rose, got the mead. Curious to see what it makes of this. 9 lives. I have the image here too. Here's the cover. So let's throw this one in here. And okay, let's call this interview with Jody. And let's get started. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm just curious what it's going to do. Reviewing your media. Style. No, I don't like that style. Oh, okay, that one's kind of nice. Let's try that one. Vintage. Why not? Bold. I like that one too. Playful now. That's too goofy. No, too minimal. No, too vibrant. Classic, yes. Elegant, yes. Organic, no. Okay. All right. So trying out live AI video editing. We'll see how this works. See how badly this is going to happen. I don't know what they're going to do with it. I've got 2 separate video streams there. I wonder if they're able to put the conversations together. We'll see how this works. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. So the other times I've done interviews for podcasts, it's always been through Zoom. I haven't been. I know Jody said he's going to be trying out the what's that one called? StreamYard. StreamYard is another one. Let's just see if we can bring that up here. Where to go? Oh, that's right. StreamYard. Where are you? Check that out. StreamYard. StreamYard for streamers, pro podcasters use Riverside. That's an ad for Riverside. Oh, Restream. Not raising prices. Start with that. All-in-one video editor. StreamYard. Let's see what's going on here. Easiest way to live stream and record. That's what I need. I need to record here. Get started. It's free. Okay, so here's where they've got. Let's see what the video is. Accept all cookies. Yeah, so this is kind of like what I want to do. I want to have that kind of setup there, but I want to be able to put a background in it and stuff like that. There you go. So you can put backgrounds and stuff. Cool. And those little things. So yeah, Riverside had those features too, which was I tried to get it to work, but it doesn't really matter because they screwed up the synchronization. So kind of. Oh, let's see what this is now. In the Garden of End Times by Jody J. Sperling. Jesus finished the beetle picking early and went to a village in rural Kent for a beer. What she really looked forward to was the day of restoration, when she could drink wine again. But 2,000 years ago, this is terrible. Stop creating. Don't bother. That's sorry. That's crazy. All right, so StreamYard. So let's see, what do you get for free here? Let's see. There's the excuses, trusted by teams, go live or record podcasts with remote guests, studio quality recordings at any connection, local recordings, recorded on each user's device. Okay, multi-streaming to all platforms at once. Brand your show, move your 60,000. Creating it's free. All right, so let's see what it says about getting started here. Great. Google. Always like Google here. I really gotta be careful about showing you guys my email addresses, but that's okay. If you send me an email, I don't like it, I'll block it. I mean, people can find my email addresses easily enough. They're all over the place. Okay. I want to try dark mode. Camera shapes, that's cool. Screen sharing is now 1080p. LinkedIn Live. Custom background, local recordings, custom layouts. StreamYard on air is now available. Live webinar platform, host a live StreamYard embedded in your website. Cool. Clip your live streams. You can now trim your videos on StreamYard. Video splitting. Split the videos into multiple segments so you can keep what you want. Repurpose your content in shorts and reels. Guest destinations. Recording controls. Stream to Instagram. How about that? Announcing Twitter comments. Oh, sweet. Portrait mode is here. Hate portrait mode. Got it. Okay. Written by Rich Hussick. Don't worry, I got you covered. Okay, I'm not worried about that right now. All right. Upgrade. What's the upgrade give you? All right, free. StreamYard. 6 on-screen participants, 2 seats, local recordings, 2 hours per month. So, that's all I need. I mean, my interviews are going to be like 20 minutes, so that probably would work. Let's see, 10-on-1, pre-recorded, unlimited streaming. Live streams are recorded. Custom RTMP destinations. I don't need that. Yeah, because I don't want to live stream my interviews. I want to record them. Okay. You know what? I'm going to try this one. I'm going to try StreamYard. It seems to have the features of Riverside. So I will try that for my next one and see what happens. And so hopefully that'll be a little bit better. All right. Found out about that. Yeah, I was hoping to have more to talk to you about the story, but you know what? I'm going to call it a little bit early tonight. I don't have any comments from anybody, so I will go ahead and do that. But please, if you've seen it, if you're watching this later, if you're watching a recording of this and you want to get involved, you've got something you want to talk about, you want to give me some advice, please reach out to me on X. We'll hook up. We'll do a streaming episode. You have to stay up late. It's midnight on the East Coast, and what does that make it? 9 p.m. on the West Coast, which is not too bad. If you're on the West Coast, even Central Time, it's only 11 p.m. Stay up till midnight. But if you're on the East Coast, yeah, it's a late night. But this is going to be a live stream situation here. So if you come on, we will be live. And we're just writing only, nothing else. I don't want to talk about anything else. No current events. Just let's talk writing. Writing, producing, technical stuff, all that good stuff. All right. So I'm going to call it tonight because I have been yawning all through this thing. I showed you guys what I'm up to. I showed you guys, by the way, did I show you this? This is kind of cool. So Jody had given me a live read of an ad for his book series, but it was just kind of playing and there was noise in the background. So I cleaned up the audio and I added this music to it. That's it's great audio for a mystery series, especially his with a little hard-boiled detective thing going on there and quirky. And so I think he's going to love that. But yeah, tons of music on that Envato Elements. It's like I think I pay 150 a year. It may be higher now. But definitely worth it because I do use that every week. That's something I'm using all the time. I'm grabbing sound effects from there. I'm grabbing music, grabbing ambiance, all the different things I need to make a nice audioscape for the podcast episode. So I like that. This was the other one I was thinking about using for him. Let's just play that real quick. Yeah, that was to what was that TV show? Oh, I forget. Anyway, there was like an old TV show that had a theme that was very similar to that. So it was between those two. I went with this one as more kind of a bluesy combo type of thing going on there. So that was kind of cool. All right. Anyway, so so what it came out. Here's how it came out. Let's play the promo.
The Luke in Time Mysteries begins with two private detectives. Luke, who's got a little bit of a drinking problem, and her partner Lyle, who's got a little bit of an eating problem. Together, they've got pretty big money problem. So when Marva walks into their office, offering gobs of cash, if they can find someone who's trying to kill her, they take the job without asking any question, which becomes their biggest problem, because soon enough, they walk into a trap and wind up dead. But that's not where this story ends. In fact, it's just the setup, because they go back to the moment where they first met Marva, and until Luke and Lyle can solve Marva's mystery, they keep dying over and over again. If this book sounds like something you'd enjoy, check the links in the show notes to learn more.
You can find out more about the 9 lives of Marva DeLonghigh and the Luke in Time mysteries at jodyjsperling.com. So that's the promo that is now across all my episodes. Oh, I never showed you this. We got a few minutes. Let's go back here. So I created my own software for managing my podcast. Did I show this to you guys before? Well, I may not have done it before. Anyway, so I've got this here, and you can see all the episodes, all the books and stuff. I can filter it by just the stories. And so what I did is I can put in a pre-roll, a post-roll, a mid-roll, or a post-theme ad here. And then I can click on the publish button, and it will incorporate that into the episode. So the episodes consist of just everything from the introduction to the very end. So if it's written by me, I just record up to the Blueberry Patch was written especially for the Bedtime Stories fiction podcast by Rich Hosick. And then I append then a standard ending for that. The other ones that are written by the people, I record the full ending and I can't really change that. But so I've got those 3 parts, right? I have the theme, I paste the theme on the front, then the story, and then the end credits if I need to. Now, in between those, I can put something in front in the front here, after the main theme. Uh, I've got a mid-roll point that I identify for each episode, and then a, post-roll. So at the end of the episode, I can add an ad. So that's pretty cool. And I can also throw in some text that will be appended to each episode's description. So when I do this, so what I did earlier today is I checked all the stories. I made sure I had the Luke and Time theme in there. And what I did is I clicked publish to checked episodes, and every single episode now got recompiled, pushed up to my podcast platform, which has an API that I can use to do this. And now all 68 stories have Jody's ad in it. Really handy. Now, I think in the future, I'm probably gonna limit it to 100 stories, 100 stories, and then whatever, books I have, and maybe I'll limit it to 5 books or something like that, just so, um, I don't know, it feels like a lot because I start managing, but or maybe I'll just do the ads on the last 100 stories or something like that. But the thing is here, so now his ad is going to be on those stories. If someone downloads the episode on the machine, they'll be there forever. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal for Jody because he gets an ad for a month across all my episodes on my podcast. And so Podomatic is my homebrew software for doing that. Um, There is no Podomatic.com, don't try to go there. That's a private URL that I have, only on my machine, and, so it's really nice. I can come in here and I can edit all the stuff about the episode. I can upload a new audio file, a new image. I can specify the act break time thing here and all this kinda stuff. So I've got all of these different things available to me here. Let me get this here. There we go. To make this work and edit this, change the date and stuff like that if I need to. So this is basically the same information that I put in when I'm putting the episode directly on my hoster's website, but doing it this way, I have control over this. And you see this, I gotta take this off here. Save that, update that, edit. So basically, when I've got a story like this and I put this horror monster thing in here, what happens, it's gonna take these keywords, embed them in the description in a pre-tag, and then that's what I use on the website, Bedtime Stories Studio, to do my playlists. So if I come here, if I look for fantasy stories, which I categorize Jody's story as, you'll see it comes up under the fantasy stories. If I switch to ghost stories, I'll see the ghost stories. And you won't see it on the description here, but there's extra text hidden in there that you will see it if you look at it on your podcast app platform, you'll see it, what the categories are. But here it's kind of done. So it's kind of like a hack because in the RSS feed from my podcast provider, there is no tags or keywords or anything like that that I can use for the website. So I had to create a hack to do this on my own. So this is that. So I got all my mystery stories here. I got my science fiction. Yeah. All right. A lot of science fiction. Didn't realize how much science fiction I had written until I categorized it all. So yeah, Podomatic. So this allows me to do all this stuff right from here, and I can manage all my books, right? I can do this. So I can upload my books and the books I do like months in advance, right? I can upload all my books, all the dates up in advance, have them up there and ready to go. When I did my push for the nominations for the podcast awards, I was able then to put a post credit and a post roll ad up there for every episode in my library with the push of a button. Very cool. So this is not something I'm ready to share with other people, unfortunately. So if you're thinking like, "Oh, I'd like to use that," yeah, no, I can't do that. Uh, it's very crude under the hood, as we say, but it gets the job done for me. So It's going to remain my tool. I think there's other tools out there for people to use, but maybe not like as cool as this. The other thing about this is that when I do get paid ads, right? I don't have to go through the host, right? I don't have to do Acast ads and have them take a big percentage and give me like the little crumbs. I can get offers from podcasters and say, okay, yeah, I'll put your ad in all of my episodes mid-roll, and it'll be there for a month. And then they'll pay me, and I'll tell them how many downloads it was, and I'll make some money, and I won't have to do the day job anymore. All right. Look at that. I did fill up the hour. How about that? All right, everybody. Have a good night. I will see you tomorrow. And if you've got any suggestions for audio stuff, please let me know. If you're interested in being on the stream, please let me know. If in any capacity, just want to talk about writing, you want to talk. If there's some topic in there, if you have something to say about the whole NaNoWriMo thing that we talked about a few days ago, let's talk about it. All right, catch you later.